This is the podcast overview for Module 7 of Week 4. So this is the first module in Week 4. You will have 3 modules in this week. And Module 7 covers Chapter 8, which is Nutrition, Weight Control, Diet, and Exercise and Safety. So here's their to-do list for this module. I have your objectives here for the chapter. So you can click here and listen to an explanation of each of these objectives covering an overview of the chapter. And then we'll also be doing Module 3. I don't know why this is cut off, but Module 3 of the physiological modules, and it covers the digestive system. So, of course, it makes sense to look at the physiology of the digestive system as we're covering the chapter on diet, eating, exercise. One of the big issues that we're going to cover in this chapter is obesity, how it is linked to hypertension and heart disease, and these are just a few of the big lifestyle plagues that are plaguing our country in terms of preventable chronic illnesses. Here are the lecture slides for the chapter. I have a video assignment that goes along with the chapter, and it is on obesity. You're going to be watching the video by clicking here on obesity. It's called The Weight of Obesity. It's really great. It covers the epidemic of obesity in our country from a physical perspective, psychological, and social perspective. So obesity isn't just something that happens to someone, in a bubble. There are many different factors that contribute to obesity, many of which are environmental and social. So I love that this video kind of encompasses all of that. So you're going to watch the video, and I have a worksheet that goes along with it. That's what you're going to be turning in when you click here on this video assignment. You can attach this video worksheet, or you can copy and paste it, whichever works easiest for you, as long as you get it in the video assignment. You do not want to put the assignment in the comments section of the assignment. You want to directly link it or download it to the assignment. Your discussion for Module 7 covers the longevity, Chapter 8, which looks at how physically active are you. So this is another nice bridge between the main chapter of diet and exercise, and then talking about physical activity in the termites. So you're going to complete the chapter assessment as usual. I have a little note here about what makes this assessment a little different. You're going to want to take your time. You are given in the assessment some different physical activities. These are the same ones that were presented to the termites. However, some of these activities are probably not things that you do, as some of these are outdated or things that maybe older individuals do rather than college students. So what you want to do so that you're not stuck is think of what you do on a daily basis, what kinds of activities, not just quote unquote working out or going to the gym, but what walking do you do, or biking or running or hiking, or whatever other activities you're engaged in. Some of you are on sports teams, so you have that in your weekly repertoire of activities, and you're going to want to match those up to like activities that are listed for the termites. So, the termites might have like golfing. Well, you might not be a golfer, but you might see something else as being similar to that, right? So try to find a similar activity. And when I say similar, I mean in terms of like maybe level of exertion or energy expended. And what you're going to be doing is finding the metabolic equivalent, the MET, for that activity. So you're going to need a calculator for this one. It is kind of a little bit intricate in terms of like calculating it all, but once you do it, it's actually really helpful. It's a really good assessment and good indicator of your kind of daily met expenditures for the activities that you engage in, and how often you do those activities. So there's a little bit of tallying, a little bit of math involved, but it's nothing you can't handle. So, do your best to match up your activities to those of the termites and calculate those METs. And then once you do that, you're going to talk about what you got and what it means about you, and then you're going to answer these questions here. How specifically does physical activity relate to health and longevity? Use examples from the termites. So I want you naming the termites, Paul, Sandy, whoever are the people that are being talked about. I want you kind of getting familiar with these people. Patricia, trying to think of all of the different ones. And every chapter is different, depending upon who's mentioned. But, use some examples to help tie into your answer. And then B, how does your physical fitness compare to that of the young Terman participants? How would you say the average American compares to that of the average American 50 years ago? And here's where you can be thinking about the main chapter as well, Serafino and Smith, in what it says about exercise and eating. Are we as healthy, less healthy, or healthier than the Terman participants were? And then lastly, take a look at your exercise assessment trajectory and at the times when you were becoming more or less active. Taking those patterns into account, how might this help you to select activities that will fit well with your preferences and lifestyle? So a lot of times, we think we have to do a certain activity because that's just what people do. Maybe it's CrossFit, maybe it's running, but maybe that's not an activity, one, that you enjoy, or two, is compatible with your lifestyle and what you have going on in your life. What kinds of activities would be a good fit for you? Is there a need to make a change? Is there a need to reevaluate or reassess what you're doing and how effective it is? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, and that wraps up Module 7.